A funny thing happened on my last day of class, and it's something that should have been happening the entire time I was in college. So I go to take my Italian literature and fascism exam. I finish relatively early. It was pretty easy. And I go and I take my paper up, and she's like, "Have a wonderful holiday." And then she hands me back the paper I wrote. And this was on the book Christ Stopped at Eboli, Christ Stopped at Eboli by Carlo Levi. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just looking for the grade. Just like, where's my grade? Where's my grade? And I'm like, okay, there's my grade right there at the bottom. I fold it up and I put it in my bag. And then I come back and I look at it again because I wanted to see like what comments she made. And I'm looking through it again, and all she's done is really like underline things and circled stuff. And I'm like, well, where's the stuff? And then I look at the very last page, which I really wasn't paying attention to, but because it's in the same format and same like setup as the rest of my paper, but it's a page she's attached. It's a full page of criticism. And I was so stunned. I was like, oh my God, that has never happened before. I have been in college for 4.5 years, and I've never got anything like this from a teacher. I was thinking, this should have been happening the entire time I've been in school. I mean, I got an 85 on the paper, and I was very happy with that, but if you read this, you're like, it sounds like I should have got like a C, honestly. So here. You identify the main elements characterizing the conditions in Galliano and offer for each one a few examples, presenting a good account of Levy's complex perception of the historical and cultural factors that shape the peasant's life. What is missing, however, is a solid consideration of those instances that could be used as objections to your view of the peasants as unwilling to bring change. You address only the example of brigandage, leaving out mass emigration. Half of the Galleoneses live in the U.S. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that. Galleoneses, yeah. And the different instances of rebellion that occurred just in the 1 year in which Levy stayed in the village. The main problem of your essay, however, is that you do not fully analyze the narrator's position, ultimately the source of all of your information. Given the fact that you concentrate only on Levy's account and are not interested in engaging other sources on the social conditions in the South for comparison, your central question should have addressed Levy's ways of portraying such a complex situation, his contradictions, his particular interpretation of the peasant's conditions, and his ideological agenda. You assert at the beginning that Levy seems to attribute all ills to fascism, but then you show that his account presents a quite intricate interaction of different factors, and that he presents fascism as one additional instance of a long Italian political tradition that has always produced forms of state that are distant from its constituencies and fail to express the diverse needs of a very diverse country. Without a clearer reflection on the position of the narrator, your arguments remain disconnected and at times conflicting. I appreciate your lively style, but at times it is too colloquial, the vocabulary too generic, and your statements fall into generalities. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? I do have one little problem with what she said, though. To say that I'm just rehashing what he said, that he makes all these points and he's saying that this is why the peasants are so bad off, that's not true. Because he never once in the book says that this is, except for fascism, that this is why the peasants are doing so bad in Galliano. those were my own observations. So that's the one problem I have with it. And it's nice to get some feedback, get some real feedback. So Paula, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and it was a wonderful class. And I wish you the best of luck. I'll talk to you later.